Hey guys. Alright, the HikeIT Throttle controller is finally in. I got in on the group buy from JK Gear and Gadgets. Big shout out to them for getting us a heck of a discount. This thing was $130. Normally I think they list for $200 for this brand. The majority of them are in the $200 to $300 range. They're, I wouldn't necessarily consider them cheap, but it's not going to break the bank either. But for $130, I had to jump on it. That's a hell of a deal. So I went ahead and I pulled the trigger on it because of the demand and the price. With the group buy, it took a couple of weeks to get in, but it's finally in. So we'll go ahead and try and get the cover off this. So it comes, with the controller and the ends that go to the pedal connector, and then this goes to the little controller that gets stuck on the dash. So I'm going to have to figure out exactly where I want to put it. I'm thinking probably right in here, but I'll have to figure that out when the time comes. So I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this thing installed. Hopefully this won't take too long. The hardest part of this whole install, and I'm going to try and get a shot of this and get a flashlight up in there. Come on, turn on. Alright, so the hardest part of this is getting under here. The connector is like right there, so I'm going to have to unplug that. This is going to be the hardest part of the whole install, is just crawling up under the dash and getting this thing off. On the JK, I don't know why. Typically on other vehicles it's right above the pedal. On the JK they didn't do that. It's like buried up under the dash. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull that connector now, and I'll be right back. And hopefully I can get a shot of this. This is the plug right here, so you guys can see it. It's the 6-wire plug. Alright, so I got this thing hooked up. I'm trying to get a flashlight in here so you guys can see this. So here's the one end, the plug. Here's the one end. So let me move this wire over. And there's the other end. You can see the top of the red connector. Alright, now that I have everything connected, I think I'm going to put the throttle controller right there. This even comes with a little alcohol wipe. So I'm just going to wipe it down real good. And I'm going to let that flash off for a minute. Alright, got everything buttoned up. So I'm going to try auto mode, because apparently that's kind of like a automatic learning mode, and it kind of adjusts for what's best for the driving conditions. So I'm going to try that, see how it works. When I turned it on, it came up to automatically, so I didn't have to mess with that. But for right now, I'm going to leave it on auto mode. Alright, so what we're going to do is run through the modes real quick. So let me go mode. Okay, so the CO mode is the comfort mode. The AU is the auto mode. EC is 4x4 economy mode, it says. High is the racing mode. And then again, we're back to the auto mode. So basically what you do is the up and down arrows, you hold them down for 3 seconds, and it switched it to auto. So if you have a manual, you just hold the down button down for 3 seconds, and H is manual, and I have an auto, so I'm going to switch it back. There we go. So I have the mode on auto, and I have the transmission set to automatic. What I really like about this is, I'm going to see if I can get it to show. There's actually a light sensor on it, and it dims the display at night, which is kind of nice. You can see it there when as I'm holding my finger over the sensor. And then it just went back to the daytime mode. So I think that's pretty nice. I drove around the block once, and I'll tell you what, I can already tell a difference in the throttle response. Much better pedal, much more responsive. I'm already doing 30. It's almost like it woke this thing back up. My Jeep, I'm rolling on 37s. I already re-geared, I'm on 488s. And the 488s did help, but it was still, you know, I felt the throttle response was still a little sluggish. But with the throttle controller, and this is just an automatic mode, I'm barely hitting the throttle and it's just jumping right up, which is great. It just seems like it's already helping, and I only took it around the block, so I only drove it for 5 minutes. And one thing I'm going to try is we're going to try and put this in race mode. And yeah, much it just jumps right up. I'm already doing 25. And I'm doing 25 right now, so I'm going to try and gun it. Yeah, it just jumps right up. The race mode is pretty responsive, but I think I'm going to put it back on auto for now. The race mode was kind of fun, but, you know, I'm not going to ride around with it on race mode all the time, so I put it back on auto. Just coming off the stop sign and at stoplights or whatever, I'm just barely giving it any gas, and it's going, which is nice. It seems to have some of that lag that is, you know, typical in these electronic controlled pedals. So it seems to have gotten rid of the lag, and it's much more responsive. So far so good. I'm pretty happy with it. I definitely recommend it, and for 130 bucks, I mean, you just can't beat this thing. That's nothing for a throttle controller. So I think that pretty much wraps it up.